Hey, what up guys, welcome to the brand new Subtlety Arenas video. I know everybody's playing Assassination and Outlaw, but I feel these specs are broken as fuck right now, plus they are gonna get nerfed. So I returned back to my first love, which was always Subtlety. I feel this is the most rewarding and satisfying spec out of them all. And all of the games are dubbed over with commentary, so you know what the fuck I'm doing. Now I'm still relearning the class, so you may see some fuck ups. That's fine. Now let's jump straight up into the games. So the first game is against a good old Turbo Cleave with a Holy Paladin. We're playing Scooby-Doo, which is always good. So the plan is to kill the Shaman. Now I have my Cold Blood already activated. That means when I pop Cheap Shot I get 10% of that HP going down. And I go here and sap the Paladin. Now I was expecting for my teammates to just jump in right now, but we're just wasting the saps over here. Maybe I should have waited, I don't know. But once again, you know, I get another sap on the Paladin here, they charge in our team, then the last sap and he's immune basically. Getting ready for the opener, I pop my Symbols of Death and my Shadow Blaze. Cheap Shot over here, gonna Trinket the Fear, get Nightblade up, then Shadow Dance, Shadow Strikes, another Cheap Shot over here and Smoke Bomb. My Paladin bubble for some reason, I don't know. I tried to keep the Shaman in the Smoke Bomb for as much as possible, but the Paladin bopped him, so it is what it is, okay? Now we're gonna get this Kidney Shot over here. The Paladin trinkets that, he still has wings and he uses bubble. So, you know, that makes him quite a good target to swap over, right? So I'm waiting for the bubble to get out. The wings are fading out as well. Getting the Nightblade here, so Shadow Dance is almost up. I get a DR stun in no problem. Gonna blind the warrior here, interrupted that heal and get the Shadow Dance in Cheap Shot. Gonna get those beautiful Shadow Strike, and I didn't even get to use my Eviscerate. That was beautiful, right? All she wrote. Okay, so next game is against Fire Mage, Windwalker Monk and Resto Shaman. So the plan is to kill the Mage, but at some point you'll see my partners will switch over to the Shaman, which is fairly good because you're gonna see he's gonna get out of cooldowns. So I sap the Shaman here. Unfortunately the Priest gets him into combat and no problemo. So I pop my Symbols of Death here, my Shadow Blades, and go on with Cheap Shot onto the Mage, get the Nightblade in, Shadow Strikes as much as I can. He blinked, I Shadow Step. Got a short kidney over here. I'm gonna trinket this and use Smoke Bomb to force the second blink, which we did. Now I'm gonna Shadow Step, kick that bastard seal over there. Cross CCing here, Cheap Shot and a Hodge on the Shaman. We got the Ice Block here. Then we get the Spirit Link as well and Ascendance. So we're good. The game is ours. I'm keeping to the Mage here, keeping the pressure on, and they switch on to the Shaman because he basically has nothing right now. So what it is, the Shaman dies. Obviously, all three of them were really low anyways, but we got the kill. And it was beautiful control, beautiful pressure. That's why Scooby-Doo will be really good, I think. Now the problem in BFA Pre Patch is the MMR is really fucked up. We like queued up all the time with 1500 and 1600 teams while we were playing like 1800. So you couldn't get that much progress in. Now let's see these guys. Fury Warrior, Red Paladin, Resto Druid. I think it would work better with arms just because of DMS. But the plan is to kill the Fury Warrior, obviously. So I pop my Cold Blood right off the back and I'm just spamming the sap macro to get the Druid. Usually they're stuck to the wall. And here he is. Here's the Druid. So get my Symbols of Death and Shadow Blaze here. Gonna get the Cheap Shot onto the Warrior. Gotta get that Nightblade up and get those Shadow Strikes. Get another Cheap Shot, Smoke Bomb. The Druid trinketed that shit and I'm gonna try to blind him. 4-second blind, that's the art from the poly. Cheap Shotting the Paladin as well so he doesn't throw any off heals here. We're keeping like really high pressure onto the Warrior, but here it is, right? Like those crits from the Red Paladin just sealed the deal, man. And once again, I don't know if it's just because of the pre-patch or people are not queuing up, but you know, obviously these teams are not like the best, you know. A really good ass team would make it way harder for us to kill them. But it goes to show, you know, BFA Pre-Patch MMR is kind of broken. And well, look at this, once again, we're 1800 plus and we're fighting 1500. But anyways, here we're facing a really flavor of the month. So we're playing Frost Mage Sub Rogue and we're facing Frost Mage Assassination Rogue. Now, I think it's fair to say Assassin Rogue are ridiculously strong right now. So the changes, the nerfs haven't gone live into the pre-patch, you know, they're only on the beta. But I don't care, I really want to relearn Subtlety Rogue, I want to play it to its full potential. So the plan is to kill the Mage, right? So while spamming my sap macro to try to get the Rogue, I get close to this bastard here, popping Shadow Blades and Symbols of Death. Gonna Cheap Shot, but he uses his Ice Block, no problem, just gonna vanish, no need to use Cloak right now because I have nothing on me. So I'm gonna get one more cheap shot. The rogue will open up on me. Gonna trinket an evasion here. Mage uses temporal shield and frozen orb. I need to cloak that and I get too much damage in. Vendetta is on my ass, but I see I have one more shadow dance charge. So I just gonna shadow dance cheap shot the rogue, then gonna shadow step onto the mage and cheap shot him. One good eviscerate, boom, see ya. But dude, this is I think the most beautiful part of playing subtlety, because with shadow dance you can really save yourself and do like a counter play, like switch things around. Like I was almost there, look at my HP, right? I had Vendetta, I had all the poisons on me, I could have died there easily. But with shadow dance I managed to like stun both of them and get that damage increase up and kill off the mage. Beautiful stuff. And granted, I did play in this game with cheat death. It's usually what I go for in 2s, so that saved me as well. So getting things off once again with Symbols of Death, Shadow Dance, gonna do the triple cheap shot opener over here. Beautiful stuff, Shadow strikes like a maniac and a good ass crit, GG. And now the MMR didn't really fuck up, so we were good. Next game is against Resto Druid Windwalker Monk, and obviously the plan here is to control the Druid and kill the Monk. I use Sprint right from the get-go, which is a bad boo-boo. Don't do that. I mean, in 2v2 maybe sometimes you can use it, but in 3s definitely not. Keep that shit. So I'm spamming my sap macro to find the Druid. Here is the Druid. I see the Monk here. Gonna pop my Shadow Blades and my Symbols of Death. Cheap shot here. He trinkets that. Gonna get a kidney and smoke bomb. Shadow strike his ass to the ground, but he does manage to pull off the karma. So I just vanish and cloak. Now the Druid got into a poly. He doesn't trinket that shit. I'm gonna force it with a blind. Here is the trinket. So now it's time for a full-on cheap shot and try to get back to the Monk. Fortunately, I don't have the range to get Shadow Step, but I will here, and with another Shadow Dance with cheap shot. Gonna get Nightblade, Shadow Strike like a maniac over here. Good crits from the Mage. I get stunned, trinket that shit, and that's all she wrote basically. So this is the thing about, you know, Sub Rogue and Mage. You know, these classes are made for each other, man. You can, it's one of the few comps I believe that can work really well in 2v2 as double DPS and facing off healer DPS comps, because you can control the shit out of these bastards. So that's lovely. I remember this one. This was a super fast one because we got a greedy Druid over here, people. First of all, the Druid doesn't want to get into stealth, so I get the sap off over here. Then I'm gonna use my Cold Blood here, Symbols of Death and Shadow Blaze, cheap shot the warrior, get the Nightblade and get those beautiful Shadow Strike. Gonna get some good eviscerates here, second Shadow Dance with Shadow Strikes, of course. The Druid doesn't do nothing. I mean, he didn't trinket anything he had over there. He had the sap, and I don't know if he was lag or something, but this is like a good example on how fast you can kill a bastard, you know, if he doesn't get any help. But anyways, moving along, here we're facing Retribution Paladin Arms Warrior. Red Paladin. I think I know something about that. And the plan is to kill the warrior while CCing the paladin, obviously. So I sap the pally, pop my Symbols of Death, Cold Blood, and Shadow Blaze. Cheap shot here, Nightblade, beautiful Shadow Strikes. Gonna get a good ass eviscerate over here. I'm gonna trinket this shit. He pops there by the sword. I'm gonna kidney here the paladin. He bubbled that shit, and I'm gonna get feared. Now, for some reason they don't want to keep into combat, which is always good news for a rogue, because I can just vanish here. Gonna stealth up, gonna cheap shot the pally, Shadow Step here the warrior, and another Shadow Strike, and that's it. So the paladin, oh, that was my character screen, ignore that. God damn, what a backpedaling hero. But he doesn't have bubble. I'm gonna interrupt that, man. You know I mean, who the hell you think you're facing, man? So no bubble, no trinket, you know, it's GG. Oh, that was some huge damage. Shit. Okay, last game is against the, you know, Discipline Priest Assassination Rogue is 90% of what you're gonna face in arenas, doesn't matter the MMR. So let's see how we do it. This time I'm playing with a Fire Mage, okay? So obviously the plan is to control the Priest and kill the Rogue. I mean, this is 99% on what you do when playing Rogue Mage anyways, right? So I get a sap onto the Priest here and still spamming my shit to find the enemy Rogue. I cannot find them, so the Mage will get into combat with the Priest, because, you know, you don't want to get sapped or anything like that. He does put some pressure on, and I'm waiting for the Rogue to open up on the Mage so I can get him. So here he is. I just used my Cold Blood here, cheap shot, and get the Nightblade in. Now I use everything I got, Shadow Blades and Symbols of Death. Gonna get blind, gonna trinket this shit, cheap shotting the Priest, gonna get the kidney onto the Rogue and smoke bomb. I used my Cloak of Shadows because I thought the Priest is going to fear, but he got polyed from my Mage. The enemy Rogue has Cloak now and Evasion up, so we got some good ass defensives. Only thing we need is Pain Suppress. I blind the Priest here, he doesn't have any trinket, while trying to keep the Rogue in combat. Unfortunately, I don't manage to do so, so I'm just gonna try to sap here the Priest, but it's the art from the polys, right? And the only thing to do is to open up on the priest, get the cheap shot and Nightblade, beautiful shadow strikes over here. And it's good because, you know, I get one more kidney here and we're getting close to 50% HP. At this point the rogue comes out without nothing, so I shadow dance, cheap shot, use the Nightblade, another couple of shadow strikes over here. Priest gets Dragon's Breath by the Mage. We get pain suppression over here. Mage is dipping pretty low and he needs the ice block. Now of course the priest is gonna mass the spell, I'm gonna kick that shit, and we still have the cauterize from my mage, which is beautiful. Now the mage got the full poly here onto the enemy priest. I get to re-stealth, which is really good, so I'm opening up with cheap shot over here. Gonna use the shadow strike and cold blood. I'm gonna interrupt this penance and I'm trying desperately to get an eviscerate on. He uses death from above, got the eviscerate in, shadow dance and a shadow strike as priest got disoriented. Beautiful stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the games. Thank you very much for watching, and a huge shout out to our Patreons, Hill Hunter, Rumple Foreskin, Joshua Elliott, and the new ones who just joined the team, Cargo, Ulfer, and xaryu. Thank you guys from the bottom of our heart for all of your support. See y'all tomorrow. Peace.